Good evening, my dear children. Today we are going to talk more about relative pronouns. As we discussed earlier, it is a lesson from your grade 9 from unit 8. So, as we discussed earlier, what are relative pronouns? Now you should be able to name them. What are they? Definitely they are who, which, that, whose and who. Right. There is a definition in your pupil's book, page number 86. At the top of the page, a definition is given for a relative clause. Read it well. A relative clause is what? A clause that begins with a relative pronoun. It gives us information about the noun that comes before it. That means in a relative clause, it begins with a relative pronoun and it gives us more information about the noun. We are going to refer. අපි කතා කරන නාමපදය ගැන වැඩි විස්තරයක් දෙනවා relative clause එකේ. Right. Refer the example given here. What is it? There's going to be an exhibition to mark the environment day which falls next month. See the underlined phrase, it is the clause. It is the relative clause. It becomes relative clause because it starts from a relative pronoun. Relative pronoun again පටන් ගන්න නිසා. What is that relative pronoun? It is which. ඒකෙන් පටන් ගන්න නිසා it becomes the relative clause. Then here, what is the noun which is going to talk in this sentence? මේ වාක්‍යයේ මොන නාමපදයේද විස්තර කරන්නේ? See, there's going to be an exhibition to mark the environment day which falls next month. What is it? Yes, the environment day which falls next month. The noun the environment day is described here using the relative pronoun which and the relative clause which falls next month. Alright. I think you can remember the last lesson well. Now we are moving to a small activity. Read this activity well. It is about relative pronouns. Join together each of the following pairs of sentences by means of a connective. You have to join these sentences using the relative pronouns to make one sentence. එක වාක්‍යයක් හැදෙන විදිහට වාක්‍ය දෙක join කරන්න තියෙනවා. Read the first one. I know a man. Then the second sentence is the man has been to Iceland. I know a man. මම මනුස්සයෙක්ව දන්නවා. The man has been to Iceland. මම දන්නේ මනුස්සයා Iceland වලට ගිහිල්ලා. Now you have to make the sentence like this. It should give the meaning like මම මනුස්සයෙක්ව දන්නවා Iceland වලට ගිය. Like that. Make one sentence. I will explain the first one to you, right? The first, I know a man. The man has been to Iceland. How do we connect this? By using a relative pronoun. That means using that relative pronoun, you should describe the noun. What is the noun here? I, or a man, or Iceland. What are you going to describe? Yes, a man. How do we form this into one sentence? like this. I know a man. I know a man. Which man? Yes, who? Who has been to Iceland. Activity is somewhat harder, right? Poddak amarui, but try to make one sentence. Right? I know a man who has been to Iceland. Iceland වලට ගිය, ඒ කියන්නේ Iceland in Sinhala Iceland ගිය මිනිස්සෙක්ව මම දන්නවා. I know a man who has been to Iceland. Right. Now go through the rest three, second one, third one and fourth one. I'll give you some time. Yes, try yourself. ඔයාලම try කරලා හදන්න බලන්න. By making a relative clause, you can add the main sentence. ප්‍රධාන වාක්‍යය relative clause එකයි add කරලා තනි වාක්‍යයකට ගන්න. Second one, the thief stole the watch. හොරලෝසුව හොරකම් කළා. Then the next sentence says the thief was punished. හොරාට දඩුවම් කළා. How do we form this? We are going to describe the thief. හොරලෝසුව හොරකම් කරපු හොරාට දඩුවම් කළා. Simple. Now try to tell this one in English. Yes, that's right. The thief who stole the watch was punished. The same thief is described in twice. දෙපාරකට එකම noun එක describe කරනවා. So it is not used to use the same noun at the same time. එකම එක දෙපාරක් use කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. So we can omit this thief and we can describe the thief by adding a relative pronoun like this. The thief. The thief who stole the watch. Who stole the watch. What happened? Was punished. Was punished. The thief who stole the watch was punished. ඔරලෝසුව හොරකම් කරපු හොරාට දඩුවම් කළා. Then third one. Show the road. It is imperative. පාර පෙන්නන්න. Show the road. It is a little bit command. Right? Show the road. The road leads to Colombo. What is it? The road leads to Colombo. කොළඹට වැටෙන පාර. හරි? ඒ පාර කොළඹට වැටෙනවා. Right? Then how do we form it? Show the road. Yes, what is the relative pronoun? Which or that. Show the road which leads to Colombo. You can say like that. Show the road which leads to Colombo. Read the sentence again. Show the road which leads to Colombo. Then fourth one. Here is the doctor. Second one says, the doctor cured me of malaria. Here is the doctor. මේ ඉන්නේ දොස්තර. මොන දොස්තරද? The doctor cured me of malaria. මාව malaria රෝගයෙන් සුව කරපු දොස්තර. හරි? Then here the doctor defines twice. දෙපාරක් the doctor ව define කරනවා. So you should know now what is the noun which describes here, which you have to describe using a relative pronoun. Yeah, the doctor. Doctor ව තමයි relative pronoun එක දාලා describe කරන්න වෙන්නේ. So make one sentence then. Here is the doctor who cured me of malaria. Very good. Here is the doctor. Here is the doctor who cured me. Who cured me of malaria. Here is the doctor who cured me of malaria. Then you may do 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th. Right? You can join the sentences by using relative pronouns, the correct relative pronouns. Use them well and create one sentence. එක වාක්‍ය ගානේ හදන්න හැම එකටම. Read them carefully. හොඳට කියවන්න. Right, 5th one. I met a boy. He was very cruel. What is the meaning of cruel? Napurui. He was very cruel. Right, how do we form this? Yes, I met a boy. I met a boy. Now we are going to describe about the boy. How? What is the relative pronoun you are going to add? Who? Then again අපි he දානවද? නෑ. Because he, I met a boy. Boy කියන එකයි he කියන එකයි දෙකම එකයි. එකම නාමපදය describe කරන්නේ. So, I met a boy who was very cruel. I met a boy who was very cruel. Right, 6th one. He does his best. He should be praised. He does his best. It is simple present tense. ඔහු කරනවා හොඳම දේ. ඔහුගේ කියන්නේ උපරිමයෙන් ඔහු වැඩ කරනවා කියන අර්ථය තමයි දෙන්නේ. He does his best. He works to the maximum like that. He should be praised. It is passive. He should be praised. ඔහුව ප්‍රශංසා කළ යුතුයි. How do we form this into relative clause? Here, you have to start it from here. How? Check your answer. He, who does his best? එහෙමද ලියලා තියෙන්නේ. He who does his best. He who does his best. Check this one. He who does his best should be praised. Now read the sentence well. හොත්තට කියවලා බලන්න. He who does his best should be praised. තමුගේ උපරිමයෙන් වැඩ කරන කෙනාව should be praised. ප්‍රශංසා කළ යුතුයි. He මොන heද? Who does his best? We describe the pronoun he. He කියන pronoun එක තමයි අපි මෙතන describe කරන්නේ. So then move to the 7th one. The man is honest. It is honest. The man is honest. The man is trusted. The man is honest. මනුස්සයා අවංකයි. The man is trusted. විශ්වාසවන්තයි. අවංක මනුස්සයා විශ්වාසවන්තයි. In Sinhala we say like that. How do we form this into English? By using a relative pronoun. Yeah, again, this is similar to the 6th one. The man, what is the answer? What is the relative pronoun? Yeah, it should be put here. The man who is honest. The man who is honest is trusted. Is trusted. අවංක මනුස්සයා විශ්වාසවන්තයි. The man who is honest is trusted. Then 8th one. My father is dead. I loved my father. I loved my father. Here, we must go back to the lesson for a while. I will stop from here and we will move to the pupil's book. Here, there is a small thing for me to teach you. What is it? In your page number, turn to page number 85. There is a table. Look at the 3rd row. In possessive form, for people we use who. For things we use whose. For possessive, අයිතිය හඟවනකොට whose කාගේද, right? For things, දේවල් වලටත් we use whose. Then before that row, ඊට කලින් තියෙන in the middle row, for objects, object, for the object, කර්මය වෙනුවට whom කාටද, එහෙම නැත්නම් that, for people, right? Things, දේවල් වලට අපි ගන්නේ which, එහෙම නැත්නම් that, which or that, right? ඒක හොඳට මතක තියාගන්න. Right, then we will go back to the activity. Right, number 8. Here, I loved my father. Take that sentence. I loved my father. Subject, verb, object. Then, we are going to talk about my father. My father is no more, right? Like this. You have to write it like this. My father whom I loved. My father whom I loved is dead, is no more. Ninth one. The teacher sent for the boy came at once. The teacher sent for the boy came at once. It is a little bit harder. We will move to the 10th one. See, I found the umbrella, I lost it. Think of this one. I found the umbrella, I lost it. How do we make? Yes, we are going to talk about the umbrella. Then, here. I found the umbrella, I found the umbrella. Then what is the relative pronoun? Which or that. Which I lost. නැති වුණ කුඩේ හම්බ වුණා. Which I lost. It දාන්නේ නැහැ අපි because we are talking about the umbrella. Then 11th and 12th, 13th, 14th. Only 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th. You may write the answers. Eleventh, 12th, 13th, 14th. Think for a while. පොඩි වෙලාවක් අරගෙන හිතලා guess the answers. Take the 11th one. This is George. George's brother went to school with me. How do we connect this one? Yeah, this is George. Now we are referring George. This is George. But then in the next sentence, George's brother went to school with me. Whose brother? Yes, George's brother. Then how do we form this? This is George. Yeah, this is George. Now, how do we describe George? By using who or whose. In possessive form, it should be whose. George ke sahodharaya. Whose brother. Went to school with me. Went to school, right, with me. Second one. 12th one. This is George. You met George at our house last year. This is George. මෙතන George ඉන්නවා. You met George. ඔයාට George මුණ ගැසුණා at our house last year. In the second sentence, you met George. Subject, verb, object. And this object is referred here. This is George. Then how do we form this? This is George whom you met. This is George whom you met at our house last year. At our house last year. Then 13th, my uncle is dead. I loved my uncle. The same as before. කලින් එක වගේමයි. ඒක ලේසි. My uncle, yes, whom I loved. Object form. Whom I loved is dead. Then 14th one. Again, the puppy is dead. I saw the puppy yesterday. Then you cannot use whom because it is an animal. Then how do we form? Yes, the puppy is dead. I saw the puppy yesterday. Mama ඊයේ දැකපු puppy is dead. How do we form it? The puppy. The puppy. Which puppy? The puppy that I saw yesterday. Mama ඊයේ දැකපු. Yesterday. What happened to that puppy? Is dead. The puppy that I saw yesterday is dead. Then last one. 15th. I talked to the girl. Her car had broken down in front of our house. I talked to the girl. I spoke to the girl. What happened? Her car had broken down. Broken down, break down, broken down, break, broke, broken. Cadillac, broken down. Where? In front of our shop. In front of means ඉදිරිපත්. ඉදිරිපස. අපේ කඩේ ඉස්සරහා ඇගේ කාර් එක කැඩිලා. Right? Then we are talking about her car. And also a girl. Right? I talked to the girl. What happened to that girl? Her car. Then whose car? It should become whose. I talked to the girl whose car had broken down in front of our shop. I talked to the girl here the relative pronoun should be whose car had broken down in front of our shop. Right. I think you might have done well. Now we will go back to the pupil's book. There are some easy activities. In page number 87, activity 3, grammar. Fill in the blanks with the relative pronouns given in the box. Pronouns are given. That is easy. Who, which, whom, whose, where and when. Where and when. Where defines a place, when defines the time. Where කොහෙද, when කවදද. Normally in question tags, right? In here, in relative pronouns, the word where defines where defines a place and when defines the time. Right, we will go one by one. There are 8 sentences. You go through only 4 sentences and write answers. I will give you only 1 minute. Right, take the first one. A surgeon is a doctor. Yes, who performs operation? Who? A surgeon is a doctor who performs operations. Operation කරන කෙනෙක්, right? ශෛල වෛද්‍යවරයෙක් කියන්නේ. Then second one, a thermometer. Thermometer in Sinhala, it makes sense, උෂ්ණත්වමානය. A thermometer is an instrument. Instrument means උපකරණයක්. A thermometer is an instrument. Then what is it? It is a thing, දෙයක්. Then what can we use? We can use which? A thermometer is an instrument which is used to measure temperature. Measure means මනිනවා, measure temperature, උෂ්ණත්වය මැනීමට යොදා ගන්නා උපකරණයක්. Right? Then third one, Nizam. Blank is one of my close friends rang me yesterday. Close friends, who are close friends? ළඟම යාළුවෝ. එතකොට නිසාම් කියන්නේ ළඟම යාළුවන්ගෙන් එක්කෙනෙක්. He rang me yesterday. He called me over the phone yesterday. Then what is the answer? Nizam rang me. Then it should be who? Nizam, subject wise. Nizam, who is one of my close friends, rang me yesterday. Fourth one. I got a cousin. His hobby is gardening. Right? His hobby is gardening. Then in possessive form. Right? අයිතිය හගවන විදිහටයි මේ වාක්‍ය හදන්න ඕනේ. කොහොමද හදන්නේ? I got a cousin whose hobby is gardening. It should be whose. Whose hobby is gardening. Now, you will go through the other sentences from 5 to 8 and guess the relative pronoun for each one. I will give you only some time. Right. Fifth one. Tell me a time. වෙලාවක් අහන්නේ. Tell me a time. Yes, when we can meet. අපිට මුණ ගැහෙන්න පුළුවන් වෙලාවක්. Tell me a time when we can meet. Sixth one. It is an old movie. Title I have forgotten. It is an old movie. What is the answer? I have forgotten its title. Whose title I have forgotten? Why we use whose? Whose title I have forgotten? Because for it in possessive form, we use whose. Then next one, the factory. The factory where my uncle works is going to close down. The factory where my uncle works, or you can use the factory which my uncle works is going to close down. 8th one, my friend Ravi, we met at the library yesterday, reads at least 2 books every month. Then the person is described here. My friend Ravi, we met at the library yesterday, reads at least 2 books every month. What is your answer? My friend Ravi whom I met Ravi. Then Ravi becomes objective form. My friend Ravi whom we met at the library yesterday reads at least 2 books every month. Right. Now, we will move to the next activity. It is in your pupil's book. Again, page number 87, activity 4 under grammar. You have to add commas where necessary. Remember, not all sentences need them. හැම එකටම අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. You can add commas, but it should be added where necessary. අවශ්‍ය තැනට. We have to go back to the lesson. It is in page number 86. The point is not first, second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth point. And also not the first one, second one, not the second one, third one. Go through from third one. There are 2 types of relative clauses. There are 2 types of relative clauses, defining relative clauses and non-defining relative clauses. Right? ආකාර දෙකක් තියෙනවා. We use a defining relative clause to indicate which particular person or thing we are talking about. Defining එකේදී අපි අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම indicate කරනවා relative pronoun එක දාලා අපි කාවද මොකක්ද විස්තර කරන්න කියලා. ඒ relative pronoun එක නැතුව the sentence become meaningless. අර්ථයක් නැති දෙයක් වෙනවා. See the example. The boy who came first in the essay competition is in my brother's class. You cannot omit who. The boy came first in the essay competition is in my brother's class. It is meaningless. So you have to describe the boy by using that relative pronoun. It is necessary. Then it becomes a defining relative clause. The boy who came first in the essay competition. Right? Then in non-defining. Before that, read this point. The relative clause who came first in the essay competition identifies the noun. Identifies the noun coming before it. In other words, without the relative clause එක නැතුව it would be unclear. Clear එකක් නැහැ. Which boy is being talked about. See, the boy is in my brother's class. That is meaningless. It gives a meaningless idea. That means the boy who came first in the essay competition. That is meaningful. That is clear. Right? Then next one. We use a non-defining relative clause to give additional and non-essential information about a person or thing. In non-defining relative clause, we give additional things. Additional means වැඩි දෙයක්. and also non-essential, අත්‍යවශ්‍ය නොවන දෙයක්. Our class teacher who always comes to school early is very kind and hardworking. Right? Our class teacher, comma, who always comes to school early again, comma, is very kind and hardworking. See, the relative clause who always comes to school early. Who always comes to school early merely gives some additional information about our class teacher. හරි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපේ class teacher ගැන merely gives some additional information. ටිකක් වැඩිපුර තොරතුරක් දෙනවා. In other words, it is not essential. ඒක අත්‍යවශ්‍යම නැහැ for the sentence to be meaningful. It is important to remember that we should use a comma before a non-defining relative clause like this. Our class teacher, comma, who always comes to school early. Again, comma. Like this. I borrowed this novel from Suresh, who lives down our lane. The relative clause says here, who lives down our lane. ඒකට කලින් කමා එක දාන්න ඕනේ. Right? If the non-defining relative clause comes in the middle of the sentence, we should use a comma both before it and after it. Like this. Suresh, comma, who reads a lot. ඒකනේ relative clause එක. So we put a comma, then loves learning a new words. Right. This is the activity for you have to complete. Go through it well and put commas where necessary. Right, I think you have done. We will go through one by one. The first one. This is the dictionary which I bought yesterday. This is the dictionary which I bought yesterday. So where you are going to put a comma? Yes, you can use a comma. This is the dictionary which I bought yesterday. You can use it. Then second one. My youngest brother who is in grade 4 can sing well. You can use my youngest brother who is in grade 4 can sing well. If you think that who is in grade 4 is a non-essential thing. If you are going to make the second one non-defining clause. Third one, the children's film Handeya, which was directed by Titus Todavatta, won an international award. Then you can use the children's film Handeya, which was directed by Titus Todavatta, won an international award. Do you know the boy who is standing near the gate? You can use it like that. Do you know the boy who is standing near the gate? Fifth one, rice, which is grown in many Asian countries, is the staple food of Sri Lanka. Rice, which is grown in many Asian countries, is the staple food of Sri Lanka. Sixth one, Sujita, whose father works in an embassy, has a large collection of foreign stamps. Sujita, whose father works in an embassy, has a large collection of foreign stamps. Seventh, the rice which we had for lunch today was very good. You can use that as a defining clause. hari ඉවර කරන්න. Right. That's all for today. After that, we will meet you from activity 5, right? Before that, this is your homework for you to do at your home. There are 3 sentences left, 8, 9 and 10. When we meet by next week, you should complete these 3 sentences by using commas where necessary. After that, we will talk about upcycling. I told you what upcycling is. Now, we are going to talk about the topic more. Alright, up to now, that's all, and we will meet you soon by the next week. Have a nice day, my dear children.